Lecture, Module 7. The Classical Roots of American Political Terminology. We will explore something that underpins much of our understanding of politics and government in the United States, the classical roots of our political terminology. Many of the words and concepts we use today in American politics have deep roots in ancient Greek and especially Latin. Understanding these origins connects us to the long, storied history of political thought. Greece, and particularly Athens, is the birthplace of democracy. The word
Δημοκρατία,
democracy comes from the Greek words
Δήμος,
demos, meaning people, and
κράτος,
kratos, meaning power or rule. This idea of rule by the people was revolutionary and is the foundation of modern democratic systems, including our own. Let's shift to ancient Rome, where the concept of the republic was born. The word republic comes from the Latin
Res publica,
meaning public matter, or the public thing. Unlike a monarchy, where power is concentrated in the hands of a single ruler, a republic is a form of government where the state is considered a public affair and representatives are elected to govern on behalf of the people. These classical ideas of democracy and republic profoundly influence our political system. Take the Senate, for example. The word comes from the Latin,
senatus,
which is derived from
senex,
meaning old man. In ancient Rome, the Senate was a council of elders who advised the rulers. Today, the American Senate is one of the two chambers of Congress, representing the states and providing a check on the powers of the other chamber and the executive branch. The word Congress comes from the Latin
congressus,
meaning a coming together. It's the perfect word to describe a legislative body where representatives from different parts of the country come together to make laws. Congress's bicameral nature, meaning it has two chambers, also has Latin roots. Bicameral comes from
bi,
meaning two, and
camera,
meaning chamber. This structure, with the Senate and the House of Representatives, was designed to balance the interests of different states and the populace at large, reflecting the balance of power that was so important to the framers of the American Constitution. One of the most critical features of American government is the system of checks and balances. The veto power is a perfect example of this. The word veto comes from the Latin
veto,
for I forbid. It's the power of the president to reject legislation passed by Congress, ensuring that every branch of government becomes sufficiently powerful. Let's remember the judiciary, a system that ensures laws are applied fairly and consistently. The word judiciary comes from the Latin
judicium,
meaning judgment. From the Supreme Court down to local courts, the courts interpret laws and ensure justice is served, embodying the principle of
justitia,
or justice, also from Latin. Our system of government is anchored in the Constitution, a word derived from the Latin
constitutio,
meaning establishing or arranging. The Constitution is the supreme law of the land, establishing the framework for government and the rights of the people. But the Constitution isn't static. It can be changed through amendments, a word from the Latin
emendare,
meaning to correct or to improve. This ability to amend the Constitution is vital to ensuring that our government can adapt to changing times and needs. Let's consider the concepts of citizenship and patriotism, both of which have classical roots. A patriot, from the Latin
patriota,
which comes from
pater,
meaning father, originally referred to a fellow countryman. Today, it refers to someone who loves their country and is willing to defend it. The electorate, or the people entitled to vote, also has a classical foundation. The term comes from the Latin
eligere,
meaning to choose. In a democracy or a republic, the power ultimately lies with the people who elect their leaders and influence the direction of their government. In closing, the language of American politics is steeped in the legacy of ancient Greece and especially Rome. These classical roots are the foundation upon which the American system of government is built. Our words reflect the principles and ideas that have guided political thought for thousands of years, from the democracy of Athens to the Republic of Rome.